left a nigga, you never started from the bottom. This just don't feel good, you know? Not having nowhere to go, not knowing your next move. I don't even know where to start, man. I chose to leave a relationship. This don't even feel real. That's the thing. It don't feel real, bro. But when you choose peace, I'll figure it out. I always figure it out. That's the thing. It don't get more raw and uncut than this.
For years, women were sold the ultimate fantasy: independence, freedom, and endless options, all without needing men. The narrative made men out to be desperate pursuers while women were untouchable queens. Everything looked perfect on paper, until reality hit.
Imagine being an educated woman in your 50s and you've got a breadth of life experience, you've had your children, you're looking for work and you can't find work and you have to rely on government assistance. And government assistance is just over $500 a week, but rent is $500 a week. How do you survive? This is the story of a woman that I heard on an ABC program. I just caught a snippet of it on TikTok actually. I wish I saved it because it was so heartbreaking. This woman was in her 50s and studying for her master's degree. Her two adult 18-year-old twins had to support her, had to give her money so that she could pay her life expenses, and her very generous ex-husband was also helping to support her. It's not what she wanted. She was out looking for work. She was regularly out looking for work, just getting knocked back because of her age. And someone told her, I think it might have been someone in recruitment, said, well, why don't you lie about your age? You should take 10 to 15 years off. So she did that. She got herself an interview. When she walked into the interview, she said, he looked at me, the person that was interviewing her looked at me with so much disgust. So what do you do when you're that age and you want to work and you're trying so hard and you cannot get by? If this woman didn't have her 18-year-old sons to help her and her ex to help her, this is how women in that era of life become homeless. Did you know, I heard this fact many years ago that 1 in 4 women in retirement age are living in poverty. And I've been single for like who knows how long, and I freaked out at that statistic and I was like, I really, really hope that's not me. At the time, I didn't own a home. I was so scared, like being in a rental and having the insecurity of not knowing if you're going to get kicked out of 12 months or whether the rent is going to increase and you can't afford it and you're then not able to find something else. It's so terrifying and people are really freaking struggling. So I don't know what to say about this except it's horrific. And if you're someone in that situation, I really feel for you. Australia has gotten... It's so hard to get by here, even if you are earning a decent income. I don't know, like what are people going to do, especially at that age of life, that phase of life?
Fast forward to 2026. Millions of men are quietly opting out of dating. They're done chasing, done proving themselves, and done investing energy in a system that feels stacked against them. Instead, they're building lives that actually benefit them. Financial stability, peace of mind, and control over their time.
So you're 23 and you're opting out of dating because women all hate men and it's impossible to find a good woman. And when I ask you, well, where have you been looking for women? You say Tinder, or the bar, or the club. Yeah, for sure. Have you thought about like maybe attending a church? Right? Somewhere maybe a more morally strong woman might go to, with, values that you might concur with. Well, I've thought about it, but I don't want to wait until marriage to have sex. Okay, then opt out of dating. I don't give a shit. Bro, are you genuinely... All you guys in my comments are like, I tried all the dating apps, da-da-da.
And here's the bitter twist. When men step back, independence starts to feel like isolation. No shared expenses, no emotional backup, no partner to lean on. The glamorous fantasy of being a single, independent woman suddenly feels expensive, stressful, and lonely.
No, because I don't think men want to take women out on dates anymore. Like, I feel like they don't want to take women out on dates. Their idea of, like, a date in some way is like saying, hey, like, let's meet at the bar. Let's like meet at the bar and like just have some drinks, you know, just meet me there. Let's like spend some time together. And it's not even a proper date. Like that's what they will suggest 100%. Or better yet, if you are on Hinge, I'm so sorry, I'm like all out and about. I just got done working out. But anyways, even on Hinge, you will literally see like men like not want to go on dates with you. Like I have matched with like so many people on Hinge, and the matter of like men, like the amount of men who do not want to pursue anything after like the first 2 messages is like really crazy. Like there was no effort from them to like, or even any incentive to take you out on a date. It's just like they just want to match just to match, and they're not really there to be intentional. And mind you, am I being like super dead serious on finding somebody on Hinge? Not really. I'm just there to like kind of see like, hey, what's out there, you know, maybe to go on a date or two just to get to know somebody. Like that'd be nice. But the problem is nobody is asking me out. Like nobody's asking anybody out. Like they're like, we're just 1 to 2 little sentences and it stops there. It stops. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what's going on, but I do engage with the conversation and it just dies. It's just like nothing. They don't cared enough to like take you out. So honestly, I don't think men want to take out women anymore. I don't know what they expect. Well, it's definitely not dates, not romanticizing, or no romance anymore. It's wild out here.
The fallout is harsh. Bills, rent, emergencies, all the things a relationship used to buffer, now fall entirely on her. Women who assumed men would always participate are starting to realize how precarious their situation has become.
I do want to say one more thing about the homeless with a man conversation. I think a group that is left out a lot is women that have disabilities. I, in my life, have known quite a few women with disabilities that end up getting victimized by men. I'm talking about people who have developmental disabilities, other types of things going on with them, that have been pimped, that have been trafficked, but also impregnated by men. There are women that I have known in my life, and God bless them, because a lot of times they're the sweetest people, but you could not have a conversation with that person and know that they are, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know something is off, and still a man will fuck, you know what I mean? Like, motherfucker, it's just not fair. You know what I mean? It's just not to say that people with disabilities, you know what I mean? But like, it's a manipulation that just isn't right. It is not right.
Meanwhile, men aren't miserable. They're calm, content, and thriving. Travel, hobbies, fitness, and financial growth dominate their focus. Life without chasing drama feels peaceful, predictable, and far more rewarding than being forced into a system that no longer serves them.
I am getting on here to just share my thoughts about being 30-something and not having a boyfriend, not having kids, and not being married. I have been so sad. I've been so depressed because I thought that I would have a family by now. I thought that I would at least be engaged or in a relationship at the minimum, and I'm not. And I'm getting older, and I'm getting scared. Am I gonna be on here one day coming to terms that I'm just gonna be single? Like, it doesn't even sound right. I feel like I'm in such denial sometimes. Like, no, there's no way that I'm not gonna be a wife. There's no way I'm not gonna be a mom. And I'm like, am I being delusional, or am I just having faith, or am I crazy? Each day I struggle with this so much, and I just don't know what to tell myself. Do I tell myself, don't worry, you'll be fine, like you're gonna find somebody tomorrow or next year and be able to have kids before it's too late? Or do I tell myself, maybe you should figure out how to live life as a single woman and be happy? I don't know. That's all I have for today.
I've been seeing some videos on my For You page, and I think that it is finally time to discuss the female loneliness epidemic. Because I know the men have had their own thing, and I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not a man, right? But I will say that the men are more built for it than us. We are not built for this Ladies, we don't know how to be alone. These men have been bottling up their emotions and not sharing them with anybody since they were 6, 7, 8 years old. Some of us have never done that. We've always had someone to talk to, a friend, a family member, a significant other, something. And it seems like in 2025, the girls are running out of options because the dating market is terrible. Y'all are literally making fun of girls that are in happy, healthy relationships, saying that having a boyfriend is embarrassing, miserables. And then y'all also don't have any friends because anytime somebody reposts something that you disagree with, oh, that's how you feel about immigration policy? You're not my friend anymore. Now y'all don't have any friends. Like it's not going to end well if your requirement for somebody to have a relationship with you is that they have to be on the exact same page with you 100% of the time. No one is. We are all people with our own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and ideas. And if you don't respect that in another person, then of course you're going to be by yourself.
And as far as making fun of men, let's just get this out the way. Men are already alone. Okay? So it's not a big deal. We don't mind. We're self-sufficient. You know what I mean? We're used to it. It's a part of a man's journey is being alone. We're not the social of the species, if you will. We don't constantly have to be talking to someone. And I was just having this conversation, actually. And it's funny, a lot of these that pop up, I end up having these conversations. But women have so many options. And let me clear up options. I'm talking about in terms of loneliness. Women have so many options. And when I break it down to women, they're just like, I can't believe it. But it's true. You can literally make a post. Social media, and I think this is why women are ended up alone a lot of times. But you can literally make a post, show your face, maybe show some TNA, and there's 100 dudes in your inbox that you can talk to. You can get on all.
The irony? The old system worked because men were participating. Remove men's involvement, and the fantasy collapses. The single, independent woman idea only functions if men keep chasing. Without them, freedom starts feeling like instability.
Can we talk about how men and women end up being homeless? Because this is going to be just anecdotal, but I've noticed such a difference between how men and women end up homeless. Every man that I've ever known who ends up on the street or has ended up on the street has had several backup places that they were able to go to, like either couch surf or whatever it may be. And they eventually end up like abusing that situation to the point where they get kicked out. But every man that I've known has had multiple people let them live for free somewhere, give them food, gave them like opportunities. And then contrastly with women, all the women that I've known that have been homeless have been women who were abused and like had to leave their homes, and they weren't really given many options. And I've never known of a woman that was facing this type of like duress that, was just offered everything and they like fucked it up. I've never heard of that. Like, and I don't know if this is on a bigger scale what is true or if this is just my experience, but I can't help but to think of that, especially as someone who, like, I probably shouldn't be interacting with people that are homeless only because of like experiences that I've had with like being chased and stuff. But I do give a lot of money, and I've been thinking about like how you as a man, when I know every man that I know has been given opportunity after opportunity when they are in bad positions, and you still fucked it up. But like I just don't know women getting those same opportunities. I don't know.
Guys that try to actually seriously date you, like want you to be their woman. Do you get a lot of that? Because you're a pretty woman, so yeah. I'm guessing you get a lot of people trying to say they'll take care of you.
Actually.
Yeah.
Actually, very annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere I go, it's like, oh, you're so beautiful. It's like, you know what? But like, that's also caused me a lot of problems too. Like with females out here, they just, not all of them, but some of them, it's just like they hate on you and they just hateful. Like you try to help and be cool with people, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's the backlash of it. But I mean, I'm not against meeting somebody new, but I just also don't really put myself out there like that.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
I mean, I would like to eventually meet somebody new because I don't feel like my son's father is what I need in my life.
Yeah.
He keeps going to prison.
Panic is spreading. Online complaints are rising. Women notice men aren't approaching, aren't competing, and aren't bending over backward like before. The abundance of attention they relied on is suddenly gone.
You guys kind of have this common thread of like, yeah, I want a guy who like treats me well, doesn't be mean to the waiter, nice to homeless people, blah, 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 like this kind of guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
In our friend group, the guys that are the nicest, most genuine, morally sound guys have by far the hardest time with girls. And like when I used to be, like when I grew up super like Catholic religious parents, I used to be super nice and polite and blah, blah, blah. Couldn't get girls for the life of me. And then finally I was like, F this shit. I'm just going to do like boy shit. And then got way more girls. But then girls are always like, no, I want the nice guy. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, what do you mean?
I'd say maybe also look at the like no shaming, but the type of girls it pulls as well, because they could also be fuck girls, because there are, you know, fuck girls just as there are fuck boys.
None of y'all would date any of these guys.
I think, okay, so from my perspective, because I've thought about that too, because I've seen that happen, like, you know, the good guys who approach me, I'm just like, I'm not into you. And I don't have a reason not to be, I just don't feel anything.
Some women are starting to admit the truth. Men were right. Walking away was always an option. And now that men have chosen it en masse, the consequences are painfully clear. Independence without participation from the other side is harsh, expensive, and lonely.
The men have finally started to get sick of modern dating. The other day I was talking to one of my friends and he told me that he's deleted Hinge because he's sick of all his dates being the same and being unfulfilling and being boring. Finally, the men have caught up. Women have been saying it for years. We have had the conversation about how modern dating is unfulfilling, how it's not really giving us what we need. People don't want to find real connections. It's empty, blah, 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 blah. We've done this. But now the men are starting to realize that. The men are starting to have those conversations. Why? Because everybody wants connection. Everybody wants intimacy. And I think men are finally starting to realize that the way that they're conducting themselves and the way that they are searching for romance and intimacy is empty and it is unfulfilling. I think the excitement and drama that comes from having options and chasing new experiences, it's just no longer as fulfilling as it once was. I think as a woman, this is a really interesting shift to witness in real time because we've been saying for ages that modern dating is unfulfilling because the men do not seem to find value in deep, meaningful, mutual connection. Well, now there's this shift happening where the men are realizing that their methods of conducting themselves in the dating world are leaving them also unfulfilled. Interesting to see what comes of this.
Men, meanwhile, are reaping the benefits. No drama, no compromise, no endless social negotiation. Personal growth, peace, and freedom feel far more rewarding than returning to the chaos of the dating market.
Men are the only ones who could be homeless on the street begging for money. Women can't do that.
That is true, but also a lot of women would have been homeless if they were not in an abusive relationship. Because think about it, financially speaking, a lot of the female DV victims are in the same place as the male homeless people. They didn't have their own stable income, and if they did, it wasn't enough to afford to rent anywhere. And they are probably suffering similar issues in other aspects too, like mental health and substance abuse. But the only reason they still have a roof over their heads is because they're basically living with their abusers. And for the record, I am by no means insinuating this is a better situation at all. I'm not saying women have an easy way out of homeless or anything like that. But the fact is, when women fall into those vulnerable positions, there are always going to be some men willing to take the chance to exploit them and abuse them and mask that as taking care of them.
I put makeup on just for this date, so it better go well. And I'm not posting this, probably, if it doesn't. It did not go well. Truthfully, it lasted less than 2 minutes. I walked up, he gave me a hug and said, "Are you hungry? Let's go inside." We went inside. He said, "Actually, can you step outside for a minute?" I stepped back outside, and he said, "I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm just not feeling it." So I walked to my car, came back home. Dating when you're fat sucks.
2026 is proving a simple, brutal truth. The dating system isn't broken because men failed, it's broken because men finally stopped playing. And the fallout? Some women are left panicked, vulnerable, and painfully aware that the rules have changed.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.